Yes, the 83-year-old entertainer just announced that the upcoming 19th season of her show will be its last. Apparently, she created a workplace more toxic than an Amazon warehouse in Chernobyl.
Led to article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person.
Dodging Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld just ripped the velvet curtain off Hollywood's nicest mean girl. And let's just say it's not pretty. From backroom tantrums to diva-level drama. Ellen's squeaky clean image just took a nosedive into a vat of espresso-fueled chaos. What secrets did Megyn spill? Why did Gutfeld look like Christmas came early? Buckle up, because this expose makes daytime drama look like a Disney movie. You won't believe what they uncovered. On camera, she laughed while she badgered her stuff. And so all good things must end, and also the Ellen DeGeneres show for you, because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality. Yeah, but she was said to be a nasty, and that's Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres, the woman who once claimed to be America's sweetheart, but somehow ended up as the country's collective facepalm. It's like watching the human version of a Pinterest fail. All shiny smiles on the surface, but underneath total disaster with glitter and chaos scattered everywhere. You know, she started off as this trailblazing comedian who bravely came out on TV, which was big for the LGBT community. We all applauded that, but then Ellen transformed into this bizarre corporate mascot like a walking, talking Hallmark card. But somehow the card was printed upside down and smudged with reality. We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen. Don't do this. You can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time, so she eventually got cancelled. But now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right response. Yeah, she's got a Netflix special. And here's the capper on the promo. And apparently there's now articles out about PE from people who have seen the preview. She plays the victim, and she says, poor me. Now let's not pretend Ellen is the innocent, bubbly angel she sells herself as on daytime TV. She's the queen of don't look behind the curtain while everyone around her is suffering. The whole be kind, pure PR magic. You'd think kindness was the secret ingredient in her recipe for daytime success. Except when you actually peek behind the scenes, the kindness seems to have been replaced with mandatory sugar-coated misery, like someone handed out forced smiles at a corporate seminar on cruelty. If be kind was her motto, the cast and crew of her show would have won awards for best victims of passive-aggressive workplace horrors. As a host, she's amazing as a host, but as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see in front of the camera. Do you think anything will change? No, because she should have apologized 16 years ago. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years. Her Ellen and her wife Portia have left their millionaire haven of Montecito for England. Now they're saying they'll never come back in the wake of Trump's win. Do you think that's the reason why she's leaving? Absolutely not. Remember, the bombshells that exploded when former employees came forward. Suddenly Ellen's sunny studio was less fun place to work and more Twilight Zone for human decency. Staff members spoke about a toxic atmosphere so thick you could cut it with a knife, or better yet slice through Ellen's veneer of niceness like a warm knife through butter. From mean-spirited behavior to outrageous demands, it was like her kindness was the wolf in sheep's clothing. Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld didn't just uncover this, they gleefully peeled back the layers of the nice lady myth to reveal the reality underneath. A workplace that felt less like a family and more like a prison break scenario. Greg Gutfeld, never one to hold back, basically tossed a flaming torch into the Ellen is perfect bonfire, watching Gutfeld roast. Ellen was like watching a pit bull chew on a squeaky toy, relentless, savage, and strangely satisfying. He took no prisoners, ripping apart the whole facade with sharp, snarky oni-liners that made it impossible to defend the indefensible. Like, here's the woman who made kindness a brand but apparently forgot to be kind to her own employees. Boom. That hits harder than a leftover canned laugh track. Got cancelled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where it's something happened where Dakota said, "Oh, I had this birthday party," and Ellen said, "Well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me." And she said like, "No, I did invite you, Ellen, that's not what happened." And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her anyway. It led to article after article of people being like, Ellen is a nasty person, happy belated birthday. When was your birthday? It was October 4th. October 4th, you turned 30. I did. And, how was the party? I wasn't invited. Actually, no. That's not the truth. Ellen, you were invited last year. No, last time I was on the show. Last year you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited. Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party? Well, I didn't even know you liked me. Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like, yeah, you do. Yeah, but I did invite you and you didn't come, and Megyn Kelly, she didn't just dabble in the roast. She went full-on culinary chef with a flamethrower serving up hot takes, seasoned with hard-hitting facts. She laid out how Ellen's team described her as someone who had a temper colder than a Minnesota winter and an ego larger than the Hollywood sign. The classic I'm the boss bow down attitude mixed with a passive-aggressive brand. Tough management made her less of a role model and more of a cautionary tale about what happens when charisma runs dry and is replaced by toxic power trips. And the irony here is truly delicious. Ellen built a multi-million-dollar empire around the concept of kindness spreading. Be kind memes like glitter at a craft store. But she allegedly treated her crew like extras in a dystopian horror flick. It's like the Grinch stole Christmas but decided to gift-wrap cruelty instead. Megyn and Greg tore this contradiction apart, like kids tearing into Christmas presents with ruthless glee. What's even more entertaining is how Ellen's be kind persona didn't just crash and burn backstage. It also collided with the reality of her public statements and actions. The same woman who'd preach about spreading positivity also found herself embroiled in controversies about blackface and racial insensitivity. When she looked back at those moments, it was less, "I made a mistake," and more, "Let's just sweep it under the rug and hope no one notices." Megyn Kelly pointed out how this selective kindness is less about genuine empathy and more about maintaining a squeaky clean brand image. Because let's face it, if your kindness depends on the camera being on, are you really kind at all, Ellen? DeGeneres was daytime TV's queen of nice. She danced. She talked to cute kids and surprised she's a huge ol'. Ellen DeGeneres feeling the heat. Bullying now, even harassment. Hey, Ellen DeGeneres, I hope you never find employment again. Turns out Shorty is a demon. Somebody stop this woman before it's too late. So former employees actually said that Ellen's be kind mantra. It was all for show. Greg Gutfeld had a field day dissecting Ellen's awkward dance around these controversies, watching her try. To spin these issues was like watching someone do the hokey pokey while trying to explain quantum physics. Confusing, uncomfortable, and downright cringeworthy. The "I'm sorry if anyone was offended" apologies sounded less like actual remorse and more like reading a script written by a PR firm desperately trying to plug a sinking ship. You can't sell kindness and then gaslight your audience when things go sideways. Gutfeld hammered this point home with brutal clarity, making it impossible for the casual viewer to ignore the huge gap between Ellen's words and actions. Then there's the matter of her show's ratings, which plunged faster than a lead balloon. The public finally got wise to the fact that behind those forced laughs and celebrity guests was a woman whose reputation was more bruised than a bargain bin watermelon. Megyn Kelly didn't hesitate to highlight how the toxicity reports and controversies didn't just hurt Ellen's image, they were the nails in the coffin of her shows. Relevance? When your viewers start tuning out because the person they once admired turns out to be a workplace nightmare and PR disaster.